Alright, boys. Welcome, YouTube family. It is story time with Moto Tenacity. So basically here's my story about my last bike, my wreck, and plus racing, how all that ties in. So my last bike, I bought it brand new in July of 2014. Was a Gixxer 600, blue and white, awesome bike. I bought that in Texas, and we moved out to Arizona that December. So basically I had, by the time I wrecked, between now and then I had, a year and a half of riding experience, something like that, on the street. So I have, 7 years of racing dirt bikes. But, we're actually headed out to where I wrecked my Gixxer right now. I haven't been back on this bike yet. It's been raining a lot. So out here on White Spar, we were doing some runs up and down, and my back tire lost traction around one of the corners, and I low-sided into the mountain. And I have some footage on my channel of me riding since then, and my ankle and my shoulder are still sore from the wreck 4 months ago, and it's hard to get this bike leaned over sometimes, and in corners it's just too much pressure on those joints sometimes. So even with good body position, it's just, they're just still that tender. So but after the wreck, you go home with your pride broken and your ego bruised. I was off work for 3 months, and I had one of those little scooters that you put your shin bone on, and you can kind of push yourself around the house. So I had that going for me. My arm was in a sling. It was terrible. So I knew I wasn't going to quit riding bikes. I've had bad wrecks on dirt before, and it doesn't scare me enough to ever make me stop. So I started talking to people online, and I ended up meeting Hazain, and he kind of got me in touch with some people at Plus Racing, and I asked him about the ambassador program. And so basically I just had to kind of fill out an application, tell them why I would be good for it, what I could do for them, that sort of thing. So I went ahead and filled out my application, and they checked out my YouTube channel. I had some track footage and stuff like that on there, and we have a big riding community of sport bikes, and everybody needs a leather suit, this and that, and yeah, they approved me. So basically I'm a Plus Racing rip, and none of that would have ever happened if I didn't wreck my Gixxer. I never would have pursued that. All it took was me being decrepit, sitting at home. So that actually is, kind of a blessing, I guess. I still got to heal up from those injuries, but in a way it opened up new doors for me. And being a Plus Racing rep, it's not my full-time job or anything, but I can definitely I definitely get people into suits and stuff, and get them into some nice leather and good track gear at a good price. I've got a kind of a comparison, or kind of an overview on my channel that breaks down the suit a little bit, and I talk about the 1400 Dainese suit that I have, and that's what I wrecked in, and it held up fairly well, I guess. I have my little complaints about it, but you know, it protected me from any road rash. I didn't have any of that, so you can't ask for much more, I guess. But I do have a golf ball sized hole in the forearm and some stitching that got ripped out and stuff like that. So not to say that's any of Dainese's fault. It was a pretty bad accident. At a low side at 60 miles an hour is, you know, I'd say it's fairly severe. Could have been worse, could have been a high side, but I'll take it. But really, that's my story. It's I don't know, not the most interesting story or funny story that people tell on here all the time, but it's really good that I can, you know, find something positive out of totaling out your bike and having to start over new, you know. Makes me feel good. And I got a cool custom suit out of the deal.